Somewhere, right now, a guy is asleep, and his laundromat is making money without him. Not stocks, not crypto, not some app he built in a garage. A room full of washing machines in a strip mall, quietly collecting quarters while he sleeps. Nobody grows up dreaming about this stuff. Laundromats, storage units, portable toilets. The kind of businesses you drive past 1,000 times and never once think, someone's getting rich off that. Someone is. And the reason you never noticed is the whole point. I'm Marcus Webb. I went looking for the businesses that actually pay you while you sleep, and I threw out every answer that sounded exciting. What's left is a list of 10 businesses so boring most people won't touch them. That's the edge. Every one of these makes money the same quiet way. A customer pays you, leaves, and comes back next month without you lifting a finger to sell them again. The excitement costs you money. The boredom pays you. Let me show you. One rule before we start. Every number I give you is the ceiling, the best run version. I'll tell you where the floor is too, because most channels won't, and that's exactly why they lie to you. Third one, cleaning, houses and offices. This is the business everyone dismisses in about 2 seconds, which is fine. Let them. Solo. Cleaning houses, you're looking at $30,000 to $70,000 a year on 5 to 20 recurring clients. The average solo cleaner lands just under $56,000. Build a crew and it changes. Owners with teams run anywhere from $40,000 to $150,000 in profit, and the top of the range across the whole industry is about $340,000. Here's the number that matters though. Well-run small cleaning companies net 20 to 35%. Residential recurring work is the richest, 30 to 50% before you pay yourself. Floor. The industry average is 6.3%. That's not a typo. Giant janitorial firms win contracts on price and operate on nothing, and they drag the whole average down. Which is good news. The average is bad because most of the industry is bad at it. The trick isn't cleaning better than anyone else. It's the word recurring. One client who pays you every week for a year beats 10 clients who hire you once and vanish. Same pattern as the toilets, same pattern as the roaches. You're starting to see it. Next group, the ones where a machine does the work and you collect. Laundromats first, because this is the one serious investors quietly love. Average location pulls about $150,000 a year. Margins run 20 to 35%. The best run ones clear $1 million in revenue and throw off $250,000 in cash flow. But that's not why people buy them. This is. About 95% of laundromats are still open after 5 years. Compare that to the restaurant that opened near you last spring. People will always need clean underwear. That's the entire investment thesis. It's not sexy, and it doesn't have to be. Floor. $150,000 in revenue is not $150,000 in your pocket. Take the 20% and you're at 30. The million-dollar operators own multiple locations and spent years getting there. Vending machines. And here's where I have to stop and tell you that you've been lied to about this one more than any other business on this list. You've seen the videos. 50 machines, never touch them, 50 grand a month. The people telling you that are selling you a course. Real numbers. A typical machine nets you somewhere between $40 and $120 a month. A good location gets you $300 to $600. And the genuine high-traffic exceptions, a busy gym, a factory floor with 300 workers, those hit $800 to $1,500. So the ceiling is real. It's just attached to the location, not the machine. What you're actually buying isn't a vending machine. It's the right to stand in a corner that was making nobody any money 24 hours a day and charge rent for it. Last one in this group, self-storage. Nearly 1 in 8 American households rents a unit now. That's up from 11% in 2022 to over 13% in 2024. 40% margins are normal. A well-run mid-size facility clears about $184,000 a year in profit, and the big ones cross $1 million. Why is it growing? Your apartment got smaller. Your amount of stuff didn't. And the fastest growing customer isn't the family in transition anymore. It's small e-commerce sellers using units as warehouses because a real warehouse costs 10 times more. Storage stopped being where your childhood photos go. It's where somebody's inventory lives now. In 2015, a guy named Josh Brown Googled top 5 businesses to start with $5,000. He didn't have a plan. He had $5,000 in a search bar. He picked pressure washing, bought a machine, ran out of gas on jobs, didn't know what an O-ring was. Year 1, he did $225,000. Year 2, $445,000. Year 3, $780,000. Year 4, he crossed $1 million. Today, Brown's pressure washing does $2 million a year from a Google search. That's the whole origin story. There isn't a better one hiding behind it. Now the floor, because you need it. The average pressure washing business makes $45,000 a year with an 8% margin. Most solo operators land between $40,000 and $70,000. Josh runs 20 to 30% because he priced properly and sold packages instead of single jobs. Same industry, same equipment, 20 times the outcome. The difference was never the pressure washer, parking lots. A former private equity investor put it plainly, a well-placed lot can throw off $100,000 a month in cash flow. No product, no inventory, no customer to smile at. Just empty asphalt in a place people need to leave a car. And the money isn't only from parking. Owners lease rooftop space to telecom companies. They charge EV charging companies a monthly fee just to install equipment. The charging company makes the charging money. The lot owner makes money for owning the ground it sits on. Next time you park somewhere and grumble about $10 an hour, remember, you're paying somebody's mortgage. Slowly. Floor. This one is location or nothing. It doesn't compete on service or marketing. It competes on being on the right corner. And if you're on the wrong corner, there's no fixing it. Location is the only variable, and it's the one you can't improve. Bookkeeping. The opposite of everything I've said so far. No machine, no truck, no location, a laptop. Every small business has to keep its books. Almost every owner hates it. They'll pay $500 to $1,500 a month to make it go away. 8 clients is roughly $4,000 a month part-time. An established firm does $750,000 a year at 90% margins. And you don't need to be a certified accountant to do basic organization for small businesses. You're not selling accounting. You're selling somebody the feeling of not having to do it. Now, one warning, because I promised you the floor on everything. Equipment rental gets sold to you as free money. Buy a machine once, rent it out forever. Everything after that is profit. IRS tax data on 22,000 equipment rental sole proprietors says the average one runs a net loss of 8%. Not a small profit, a loss. Depreciation eats it. The scaled operators pulling $373,000 to $2.8 million in distributions are real, but they're running fleets, not a mower and a trailer. If anyone tells you equipment rental is passive, they've never filed the taxes. So that's the list. Toilets, roaches, cleaning, laundromats, vending, storage, pressure washing, parking, bookkeeping, and one to walk away from. Look back at the numbers and you'll notice something uncomfortable. Every ceiling I gave you and every floor I gave you came from the same business. Josh Brown does 2 million pressure washing. The average guy with the identical machine does 45,000. The laundromat that clears 250,000 in cash flow sits in the same industry as the one making 30. Cleaning companies net 35%, while the industry average is 6. Same equipment, same market, same customers. Nobody in this video won because they found a secret. There wasn't one. I looked. They won on 2 things, and both of them are boring. First, they priced properly. Josh sold packages instead of single jobs. The cleaning companies at 35% stopped underquoting because they were afraid of hearing no. The pest control guys with $1.5 million sell contracts, not one-time sprays. Second, they got paid again next month without selling again. The storage unit, the pest contract, the laundromat quarters, the bookkeeping retainer. A customer who pays you once is a transaction. A customer who pays you every month without you asking is a business. And that's the actual filter. Not, is this a good idea? Ask whether it pays you once or pays you every month. That one question kills most of what people chase. One more thing worth saying out loud, since I've spent 9 minutes throwing ceilings at you. Every big number in this video is the top of the range. Somebody hit it. Most people didn't. I gave you both ends because the channels that only give you the ceiling are selling you a course at the end. I'm not. So use the floor to decide and the ceiling to aim at. The people who built these didn't beat anyone. They picked a field nobody wanted to stand in and then just refused to leave it. I'm Marcus Webb. Go find something boring.